3 straight games at Third and King have ended in dramatic fashion. The Giants ended their last homestand by walking off the Dodgers in back-to-back games. And last night, they beat another LA team for their 3rd straight walk-off win at AT&T. Today, they look to keep the good times rolling. Giants Angels, and it's coming up next.
Day baseball here at AT&T Park as our great fans filing into the ballpark as we get ready for Giants baseball. Angels Giants, game 2 of this series. Hi again, everybody. I'm Dwayne Kuiper. Alongside me is Mike Krukow. A big win last night in walk-off fashion to open up the homestand. And today, guess what? Albert Pujols is back in the lineup, and he'll be facing Tim Hudson.
Well, we had heard that Albert Pujols had a hamstring problem in the series against the Oakland A's, and he wasn't going to play this weekend. But when we saw the lifetime matchups between Tim Hudson and Albert Pujols, we found out that Albert Pujols is hitting .438 against Hudson lifetime with some home runs. That will heal a hamstring quickly. So that'll be the key matchup. But interesting to note that Tim Hudson lifetime against these Angels, 13-7. So he's throwing great. It should be all about pitching.
Should be a fun day here at the ballpark. Game 2 of this series. When we come back, we will have the starting lineups and the very first pitch of this game right after this.
Is brought to you by Jack in the Box. Jack's hottest sandwich is back. Head to Jack in the Box for Jack's Blazing Chicken Sandwich. By Toyota, #1 in MPG, durability, and resale value. Toyota, let's go places. And by DraftKings.com. Play daily fantasy baseball for free on DraftKings.com with the official daily fantasy partner of Major League Baseball. Enter promo code ORANGE for free entry.
Giants take the field as we get ready for game 2, led by Tim Hudson. Game time weather is presented by the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. The admission is free. Visit online for park hours at beachboardwalk.com. A little chilly here today, 64 degrees, but lots of sunshine. Humidity at 71%. Well, let's take a look at the Angels lineup with a record of 11-12. It'll be Ibar, Trout, and then Albert Pujols, who was not supposed to play in this series, but here he is, hitting third. Calhoun, Freese, and Joyce. Giovitella is hitting in the 7th slot. Then it's Butera and Santiago.
On the hill today for the Giants will be the veteran right-hander Tim Hudson. Hudson in his 17th year at the major league level, making start number 5 of the year. Still looking for his first win. Has not had great run support, but he has been very steady. 32 base runners in 25 1/3. 2-to-1 strikeout walk ratio. And for Tim Hudson, you're always going to look at the amount of ground balls that he's been getting, and he's been getting a lot of them. He'll get a ground ball with just about everything that he has because it has downward movement. His sinker that'll be high 80s. He's got a good hard slider. He will cut the ball. He can throw a curveball. He can throw a split, a fork ball, circle change, you name it. He'll throw it out there if it feels good. He has no problem running with it. Lifetime against these Angels, 13-7 with a 3.85 ERA. Let's take a look at the defense that will play behind Tim Hudson, starting the Giants outfield. From left to right, it'll be Aoki, Pagan, and Maxwell. Best arm with Maxwell in right field. Crawford and McGee will be on the left side of the infield. Panic and Belt will be on the right side. And Buster Posey, well, he'll be in the squad, putting down the signs.
So here's Ibar as we are ready to get started. And the first pitch of the ball game is on its way. And it's fouled out of play. So we get started at 106. And it's 64 degrees. Ibar in the game last night took an 0 for 5. He did score a run. Hitting at 209. Bunts this one. Hudson off the mound quickly, swings it to Belt, and they got him. They don't be bunting on the old guy.
No. Not really. One of the best athletes on this Giants team happens to be the oldest guy on their team. That would be Tim Hudson, a center fielder at Auburn University. And very quickly gets unwound and gets to the ball. And I like his release time when he gets the ball. Watch the exchange.
Yeah, he could be a second baseman turning a double play.
Yeah, that's not that easy of a play. That wasn't a bad bunt.
No. So here's Trout. Trout has never faced Hudson before, not during the regular season. And he doesn't waste any time of stretching it out here on a Saturday afternoon. It's 0-1.
Well, that's the thing about a guy who's always had great command and a reputation for it. I mean, hitters know that Hudson's going to be around the plate, and they will be aggressive, especially early in the count.
Trout 1 for 4. He doubled in his first at bat last night, and he pops this one back and out of play. It's 0-2. Think this guy's aggressive? My goodness.
Like a bull in a china closet.
325. That's his average. He's got 5 big flies. He's got 14 driven in. And there's Mr. Pujols on deck. Posey set up way off the plate. And this has popped up. Maxwell coming in. He's going to slow down, and Maxwell will put it away. 2 down. And here's Albert Pujols. Pujols did not play last night. Remember, he suffered a hamstring pull in Oakland a couple of nights ago. Actually, it may have been a couple of days ago. But 3 home runs, 9 RBIs, hitting at 208. He does have big time ownage on Hudson, lifetime. And the first pitch is up and in, 1-0. 14 for 32 with 3 home runs.
Yeah, that's ownage. It's not like he's getting fooled against him. One of the most solid setups I've ever seen. Just perfect fundamentals to get set up prior to a pitch.
Into right center field, but Maxwell got a good jump, and that'll end the inning. So a nice inning for Hudson. Aoki, Panic, Pagan coming up. face Hector Santiago. It'll be Aoki, Panik, and Pagan. Buster Posey, 5-game hitting streak. Maxwell will hit 5th, and it's Belt, McGee, and Crawford. Hudson will hit 9th.
On the hill today for the Angels will be Hector Santiago, 6 feet tall, 215-pounder. He's 27 years old, his 4th year at the big league level. Take a look at what he has done at 4 starts. Off to a great start. Had a nice April, 2-1 with a 2.28 ERA. 17 hits allowed in 23 2/3. He does at times get a wild hair up his nose. That explains the 12 walks. Got a good fastball. He'll go low to mid-90s with velocity. He'll cut it, sink it. He's got a curveball, slider, changeup, and he'll throw everything at you. Look at the strikeouts. Almost 1 per inning. Never has faced the Giants before. This is a first.
So here's Norioki hitting at 301. And he takes a strike. Aoki last night 1 for 4. He scored a run.
Good strike zone today for pitchers with Adam Hamari behind home plate.
So a quick 0-2.
Hamari's got a good zone. It's big, and he'll give corners on both sides.
The new catcher today. It was Iannetta last night, Butera today. Tell you what, Santiago didn't waste any time throwing the ball.
He's shoot, fire, rock. Yeah, you look at the lifetime numbers of Chris Iannetta, 1 for 9 against Hudson. Kind of got him on the bench today.
So 0-2 to 3-2. That last pitch pretty close. So close that Hector Santiago started to walk off the mound. Tapped to Ibar, who knows he has to hurry, and they get Ibar. Check out our T-Mobile game changer. It came last night. Joe Panik, 2 outs, bases loaded, bottom of the 9th. Time to go home. Blanco, who had pinch run for Posey, scored. And the Giants with their 3rd walk-off of the year. So here's young Joe. He throws across his body a little bit, doesn't he? No balls and 1 strike.
Just a little crossfire action.
0-2.
I always thought that little crossfire that you have there as a pitcher gives you a little better place to establish your plant foot, and it's easier to throw a breaking ball off it.
Check out the motion by Toyota Exmo. He doesn't really have much of a follow through. Panik flips it down the left field line, and that's going to be a foul ball as it hits the bullpen mound.
Let's take a look at the defense that the Angels will employ today behind Santiago, starting in their outfield from left to right. It'll be Joyce, Trout, and Calhoun with the best arm in right field. Calhoun's got a great arm. Ibar, Freese, they're on the left side of the infield. Giavotella and Pujols on the right side. Drew Butera, he'll be in the squad, putting down the signs.
Ball at 91. It's 2-2.
Santiago's not a big guy. I mean, he's only 6 feet tall.
And another foul ball.
Did you like hitting off guys that had that crossover?
I did not. Scott McGregor had the one that really affected me the most.
You just don't see the ball early on.
No, you don't. Plus, you think, hey, is he stepping at me? Little pop-up into center field for Trout. And Trout will put it away. 2 outs. And here's Pagan.
Let's take a look at Santiago's pitches and how often he'll use it. 63% of the time you're going to see a fastball, but he'll 2-4 seam it. So basically 2 pitches there with the fastball, and then the changeup, the cutter, the slider, the curveball. He's got 4 specialty pitches, and he uses them about equally. Just whatever feels right that day, whatever's working for him.
Here's Pagan. And Pagan takes wide for a ball. 1 ball and no strikes.
Madison Bumgarner's got that little crossover step. You don't see him early. It's just all about deception. Like that look from center field or from behind home plate, you can really see just how difficult it is to pick up the release point if you're in that batter's box.
Pagan takes low. It's 3-0. Pagan last night was 2 for 3. Three and 1 with Buster Posey to follow.
One more look at the crossfire there as he cuts it right in the 3-0 pitch for a strike.
You've seen the Giants black jerseys for the first time. Swinging a high pop-up down the left field line. Ibar might be the only one who has a shot, but it's going to sail into the seat.
I think you're talking about that crossover step from Santiago. There are scouts that won't draft guys that have the crossover step simply because they think that it's hard on their shoulder. You're cutting away power and you're losing velocity with it.
There's a shot into left field, a base hit. So Pagan continues to swing the bat, and here's Buster Posey.
Stay hot. Nice at bat. You get 6 pitches out of a guy, 7 pitches out of a guy, then you wind up with a base hit.
So here's Buster Posey. 1 for 4 last night. He had the base hit to open up the 9th inning. And he takes inside for a ball. Only Maxwell and McGee have faced Santiago before. And Pagan back easily. Just a soft toss. Posey shot on the ground off for 3. Down the left field line. Posey's going to go for 2. Second and third with 2 outs.
That ball had some hair on it. No doubt it's going to be a double. And indeed it was ruled correctly. I mean, that's just not fair. David Freese is good at third baseman. He's got quick hands and soft hands, and this one just ate him up. Just a one-hot topspin seed that goes right to his backhand, and all he could do is get a piece of it. And Pagan, as he comes around second base, judges where that ball went, and then he easily took third.
So here's Maxwell. Maxwell at 241. And that's away from the target, and it's 1 ball and no strikes. Now first base is open. Maxwell has faced Santiago before, only 1 at that. He's 0 for 1.
A bit of cross-up right there. Yeah. He threw a changeup with movement on a 2-seam grip that went away from Maxwell, and the way that Butera set up, he's going to try and. Hey, I think he wanted the cut fastball in the hands. You'll see Santiago use a lot of those cut fastballs, especially with tall hitters like Maxwell. He's going to try and get on his hands.
And he hits it right back to Santiago, and that'll end the inning. Giants strand a pair. We'll head to the second. It's 0-0.
Umpire Bill Miller taking a pitch right off of his left kneecap. He went down in a heap. Well, I was able to check in with him today. Happy to report he's doing just fine. The knee's a little bit swollen. It's a little bit tight. He had ice around it. His fellow umpires, though, had a very good sense of humor. They, with masking tape, did an outline of his body. They even ranked the fall. The highest he got, guys, was 9.5. Bill said what he's most upset about in 26 years of umpiring, he has never gone down. But he's doing fine. We're happy to see him at third base today, Dwayne.
Well, he made up for it in that one down. I seriously thought that he was not going to get up.
You're right. I mean, it hit him right on the left kneecap. And all he did was just go down like the leg was broken. But that wasn't his whole day. There's more to the story. Driving the ballpark yesterday, and he's a Bay Area guy, at a flat tire.
No.
Yes.
Really?
So, through it all, he left the ballpark smiling last night, which tells you all you need to know about Bill Miller.
Slowly hit. Ball flattens out to Panic. See, it's Hamari, Eddings, Johnson, and Miller. Hamari behind the dish. I wonder if it's good to tell people, hey, look, I got a flat tire, I got to get some help, I'm an umpire. Or do you just not say anything at all?
Well, I mean, you always run the risk of maybe having a cop that was the next pitcher that, you know, maybe has an attitude against you. But
swing and a miss, slice through.
I think people like umpires.
I do too. They all really have terrific personalities.
If they don't, they should. They're a good group, and they make our game great. And they're fun to yell at.
Hit on the ground foul. Even the guys that are retired now. I mean, we just like to go up to Eddie Montague and puff our chest out and just yell at him.
He loves that.
God, thanks, guys. I needed that. Did I see Eddie here today?
Eddie was here today. He was telling me the story about Bill Miller's flat tire.
One and two. Freeze hitting .225. He leads this team in RBIs with 17. Work for Maxwell in right field. There's Eddie.
Eddie Montague, who really was a great umpire. Local guy from the Bay Area. Had a very long career. I always liked it when Eddie was behind the plate. I mean, he's one of those umpires you knew was in charge. But he absolutely, I mean, he would listen to you. You could get a few things off your chest, but then all of a sudden it would come that time where you knew the argument was over. I won't say he has a quick fuse, but he had a fuse.
Here's Joyce with the overshift, and that pitch is wide.
Eddie retired from the field, but very much active in maintaining the excellence of the umpires.
Swing and a miss. One ball and one strike.
You know, and I think that's one thing a lot of people don't know. Around the country, there are a lot of retired umpires like Eddie who are here for the crews that come into San Francisco. He just checks in on them, see how they're doing physically, what needs they might have.
Look out. Almost got Joyce as it goes to the backside.
And if something happens during a game where a young umpire maybe isn't in the right position, or maybe has a question in regards to a rule of the game, or could have handled the situation differently, Eddie's right there to help him.
Two-one pitch. Here it is. Hit on the ground to Panic, who's in right field, and he throws him out. For the Giants, Belt, McGee, and Crawford coming up. 0-0.
Brought to you by the Solar Company. Not just any solar company. The Solar Company. Switch to solar and save.
Well, if you're looking for the deal, the ideal deal, it's a great gift for a friend or a family that is graduating. Check out Giants Graduation Pack. It includes a ticket to 2 games plus a commemorative class of 15 Giants cap. Go to sfgiants.com/minipack.
Belt facing Santiago. 0-0 ball game. And Belt takes wide. 1 ball and 1 strike. On deck is McGee. And a strike at the knees. It's 1-2. Belt got in as a pinch hitter in the 9th inning and struck out looking. That was last night. Here it's 1-2. Way outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
One home run by a left-handed hitter in the last 178 appearances. Shin-Soo Choo got him in Texas last May.
Belt gone.
First strikeout of the game.
So here's McGee. McGee last night took an 0 for 2. He did draw a walk. And he takes a strike on the inside corner. Brandon Crawford on deck. And a base hit for McGee. McGee finally hits one away from a defender.
He's not going to smile. He's kind of been feeling like he's owed a few hits the way he's been hitting the ball of late. And that's not really a bad pitch. It was a little bit up. It had nice quickness to it. He realizes it's coming into the zone, goes right back up the middle. Short plant, head stays very still. I mean, all the good things you see a guy who's starting to come out of a slump. And Giants are hoping that he starts to get hot. They need him.
Here's Crawford. Crawford hitting .225. Fouled at the plate, and it's 0-1. By the way, was the 3rd time that McGee has ever faced Santiago. He's now 1 for 3.
Well, McGee hitting $164 before the game. Pujols hitting .208. We're probably talking about April not being a great month for him.
Yeah, that's right. Get out of April. Get a new month. And 2. Crawford hits it foul.
I mean, I always thought that was part of being a big league coach or manager. You got to have some salesmen in you. I mean, you got to pick guys up and have a rough month. You know, get them pumped up about the next month. Get them pumped up about the next road trip. Get them pumped up about coming home off the road trip. Whatever. Change the scenery. Sell them that good times are coming.
Absolutely. Crawford with a base hit to right field. McGee is going to head over to 3rd, and he'll make it. And here's Hudson. Warriors Playoff Central, pre and post and Sportsnet Central coverage. Game 1 coverage begins at 11:30 a.m. tomorrow. And where can you see it? Right here on Comcast Sportsnet Bay Area. CSNBayArea.com. Check it out.
As we see a lot of right fielders do in this ballpark, Cole Calhoun, the Angels right fielder, was playing well over into the gap in right center. He gave the line. He's got one of the stronger arms in the American League West. Really a good assist arm. If he's playing regular alignment in right field, Casey McGee has no chance to get to left field.
None.
Or to third base, rather.
Well, let's see what Bruce Bochy has Hudson do here. Let him swing or bunt. Bunts it, and it's a good bunt. And Pujols will tag Hudson.
Well, there's your answer. Think about Hudson. He's not a bad hitting pitcher. And what you want to do is you want to make sure that Nori Aoki is going to have a chance to hit with runners in score position.
Right. You just figure if Hudson's going to hit the ball, he may hit one on the ground, and then that's it. You don't have Aoki doesn't have a shot.
So you give up one out, move the runner up, and now Aoki can knock in two.
Bumgarner, he's not going to bunt.
No, he's going to hit.
Aoki bounced out. Here he fouls it out of play.
Second inning in a row where the Giants have put runners at second and third with 2 outs. Keep creating opportunities, and sooner or later someone's going to punch one through.
At third, McGee. At second, Crawford. Nori Aoki, who bounced out to Ibar to open up the bottom of the first.
Still shake my head when I see a pitcher go down and rub his hand into the dirt. Santiago just did.
Creates a blister?
Well, and then you are susceptible to a blister when you have dirt on your hand. That's the nice thing about rosin. Rosin becomes sticky in your hand, and it's not like dirt where there's a little piece of film between the ball and your skin. It doesn't cause friction, but dirt will. Well, Santiago slowed it down. Remember how quick he was with nobody on?
Oh.
And now he is slow motion, man.
Look out. Notice everybody on the left side has gloves. Except that guy.
All right, he got the ball. Got a good bounce from the chair.
Ibar came in and said something to Santiago. Oh, 2 pitch. 1 and 2.
That's a good pitch. That was not an easy take for Aoki. Aoki, great left field, opposite field approach off of left-handed pitchers, especially ones with sweeping breaking balls like Santiago.
And a base hit down the left field line. Here comes Crawford. Here's the throw home. Not in time. Aoki in the second. 2-0 Giants. They tomahawked that one over David Freese.
Well, they went with a fastball. And one thing we found out about Aoki, I mean, he's a good high ball hitter. We're going to make it our 4th right choice. 2 out, 2 on, 2 strikes. And he goes right to left field, as we've seen him do so effectively. And that really, David Freese had no chance at it. And with the runners running with 2 outs, not a whole lot that Matt Joyce, the left fielder, could do. Our 4th right choice.
So here's Panic. And Panic takes low, 1 ball and no strikes. Angel Pagan on deck. 6 runs batted in now for Nori Aoki. And the simple strategy of bunting Hudson works. Two and 0.
Watch another angle of the line drive just over the glove of David Freese. I don't think that Matt Joyce could have gotten to that ball any quicker than he did. Didn't matter. And that's the beauty of being a base runner in the 2-out situation. Any contact, you don't have to think. You just start running.
Two and 1 to Panic. Panic hit a fly ball to left field in the first. Here he takes low. It's 3 and 1.
He will make you work. It's one thing. This Giants line them up and down. They have guys that are going to get pitches out of a starting pitcher. And this is something that really wasn't the case the last several years.
So, do you like the jerseys?
I do.
I do too. I mean, every once in a while, I think they look great.
I like the patch on the left arm. Numbers that are piped on the back, just like the SF on the chest.
Yeah, and we love the lawn catch.
Makes us think about an old friend every time we see it.
Check out our Geico quote. It comes from Joe Panic on pressure situations. You've got to enjoy it. The game on the line like that, a chance to win it for your team. You wouldn't be here if you didn't want to be in that spot. So true.
Well, it's the last spot that you put yourself in every day before you had to come into dinner. 9th inning, bases loaded, tie score. Here's the pitch. And of course, you always get a base hit. Yeah. 59% of his hits allowed this year have come with 2 strikes. Wow.
So you weren't the only one hitting 1,000. I thought I was the only one hitting.
Oh man, come on.
Runners go. Pagan takes the throw, not in time. Double steal.
You know, little things like this at bat and taking that pitch are examples of why it's good to have a leadoff hitter in that third spot. Pagan sees the jump everybody has, and he just took the pitch. I mean, when you're a base hitter and you know guys are just completely read a guy right, take it.
Outside to Pagan, 1 ball and 1 strike.
Now, obviously, you can't do it at 2-strike count, but on a first pitch, you sure can. One thing we found out about Pagan when he was hitting in the leadoff spot, he's not afraid of 2 strikes.
Here's an RBI opportunity with Posey to follow. Popped it up. Giavotella, side retired. Giants scored 2 runs on 3 hits and a walk. The big hit, the Aoki single to knock in a pair. Good action for the Giants. It's 2-0 San Francisco.
Area.com as insider Alex Pavlovich provides wire-to-wire reporting of the Giants' 2015 season, and you'll see it only on CSNBayArea.com.
Here's Giovitella, and he takes a call strike. And then Drew Butera, and then the pitcher Hector Santiago. Foul out of play. Giovitella last night hit second and went 1 for 4. How many times I've come close to saying Hector Sanchez?
About 50. I'm with you on that.
Here's the 0-2. McGee's got it. McGee throws him out.
Tell you, Giovitella doesn't give you a lot of time, does he?
No, he looks like a pretty good player.
And he had been red hot coming into the series, but he can scoot. Good leg speed.
So here's Butera. There's a call strike. Butera hitting .222. Tell you what, he's got a good rhythm going right now. Nice compact delivery.
He's kind of been that way all spring. I mean, the one thing you don't see from him is flat movement. Everything's got downward snap to it.
Popped up. Joe Panik says, I'll take care of it. And he does, Willie Maystar. Only a Giants player should be able to do that in San Francisco.
And there's the basket. Cradled with both hands. Willie Mays style.
Swing and a miss by Hector Santiago, and it's no balls in 1 strike.
You know, having watched Mays when I was a kid a lot, as we all did, that were all around then. I mean, the basket catch defined him defensively.
Oh, it did.
But the very first time I met Willie Mays and shook his hand, I totally got the deal. I mean, he's got some meat hooks.
He does.
Big hands.
The ball was not going to go anywhere if it hit those.
No.
And that'll do it for Santiago. So Hudson's been perfect through 9. All strikes, 9 pitches. Posey to lead things on. last night, it was all about Chris Heston. He made another terrific start. Heston went 6 1/3, 5 hits, an earned run, a walk, and 5 strikeouts. How about that?
Well, 3 starts here at AT&T. He's averaged 7 innings in each start. An ERA of 1.29 here in San Francisco. 16 strikeouts in those 21 innings. So, yeah, he's been a good shot in the arm.
So here's Buster Posey, who doubled off of the glove of David Freese at third in the first inning.
So, Chris Heston, what'd you get for it? A good workout?
Posey hits a high fly ball. It looks like it's in the park. And his Trout drifts back and puts it away. I think Mr. Posey's probably thinking, I just missed that one.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, he squared him up so perfectly. His first at bat hit a bullet to left field for a double. That's exactly what he's thinking. He's seeing Mr. Santiago well today.
Here's Maxwell, who bounced one back to the pitcher softly with runners at second and third and 2 outs in the first. And Maxwell spins on this one right past Roberto Kelly. And a nice play by our ball dude.
Yeah, John Taboyan. John Taboyan, a Reno police officer. Rookie ball dude, so nice pick.
Now, you might have to get his card.
Yeah, he's a neighbor.
Well, many times as you get stopped, you need to get his card.
I'm a speed demon.
Down the right field line and out of play. Seriously, when was the last time you were stopped? Like 10 years ago?
Oh, no. 20? This guy would know. Brandon Crawford fan. Should be. Brought his glove. Gamer.
A little looper down the right field line.
We have 2 peace officers as our ball dude and ball babe today. Cheryl Boykins over on the first base side. She's the chief of police for Cal State East Bay. Cheryl.
One ball, 2 strikes. Got him.
Well, in honor of Metallica Day and the band's visit to AT&T Park, the Giants are releasing an all-new Metallica-themed clothing line. The collection includes men and women's T-shirts, sweatshirts, and novelty items. They're all now available in 11 Giants dugout stores around the Bay Area, so you can order online as well. sfgiants.com/Metallica.
Here's Belt, who takes a strike. Belt struck out in the second. Breaks his bat on the ground to Freese. And this is going to end the inning. John Miller will be in. I'll see you back here in the 7th. Here it's 2-0 Giants.
It'll be Tuesday, May 19th and Wednesday the 20th. Those are both the 7:15 games. Then Thursday, May 21st, that's a 12:45 start. If you want tickets, go to sfgiants.com/tickets. Here it's 2-0 Giants. We're in the top of the fourth, and here to tell you all about it, John Miller.
Tim Hudson, who has not yet allowed a base runner, and Ibar bluffing wasn't just bluffing a bunt, more like bluffing a slug bunt, and he took it for a called strike. He was thrown out on a bunt attempt leading off the game by Tim Hudson. McGee very shallow at third for him. And it's a ball and a strike. Ibar, a very speedy runner, but off to a very slow start. His average for the year now is only 207. His on-base average coming into the game was only 267. Panic into shallow right field, throwing against the grain, and he got him. Nice play. One away.
Good range shown by Panic. Well, welcome, partner. Good to see you in a tie.
Yeah, this is just an average attire for me, whether we're on television or radio, as you well know.
What is that you always say over on radio? You just have to sound like you have a tie on.
Yeah, that's the beauty of it. You just have to sound dressed up. I try to sound like I'm always wearing a tuxedo. And one day I'm hoping that I'll actually sound that good. There's ball one to Trout. That was a very nice play by Joe Panic.
Well, he knew he didn't have a lot of time to get rid of it, and he was at such an awkward angle he had to go so far to his left. And he makes that play to his left very well.
Beautiful day here in the city by the bay. On a nautical craft out in the cove. Or sailing by the cove. There's a called strike, and it's 1-1 to Trout. And you got one of the great players in the game today, Mike Trout, who burst upon the scene in a big way back in 2012. Came up at the end of April and turned the Angels season around. And it's 2-1. And he's big, he's strong, he's got tremendous power. He is extremely fast. He's an outstanding center fielder.
And he looks like he's having fun playing. I mean, he really is enjoyable to watch for all those reasons you mentioned, but man, there's no place you'd rather be than here.
Deep left center field. Way back there. It's gone. That is the 6th home run of the year for Trout, who is really hustling out of the box. Not sure that it was going to go out of here, but it did. It just would not come down. And it's 2-1 Giants.
Little breaking ball that had a little hang time. And boy, if you drop something down and into this guy from the middle of the plate to the knee, they set the target away, and this is just a mistake to location. It just hangs out over the middle, and he makes you pay. And you can see the power, not a real big swing, sort of a direct route. And he just jams it out of here.
No cheapie out there to the right of the 382 marker in deep left center. Albert Pujols fielded cleanly by McGee, and that's 2 down. Albert is 0 for 2. But Albert Pujols, before there was Mike Trout, there was Albert Pujols, and Albert did that thing that Trout's been doing with the bat for a long, long time. Last year, with 100 RBIs again, the 12th year that he's had 100 or more in a season. And he's on a short list of guys who have ever done that. And there are a lot of short lists with a lot of Hall of Famers names on it that Albert is part of. But he's trying to get himself going right now. Albert is off to a very slow start this year as Calhoun comes up and takes a strike. Pujols began the day hitting only .208 with only 3 homers. He passed one of our favorites on the all-time home run list earlier this year, by the way. He began the year with 520 career homers. And when he hit his first home run, he actually tied Hall of Famer Ted Williams, Hall of Famer Frank Thomas, and number 44, the great former Giant, Willie McCovey. Two and 1 to Calhoun. Tim Hudson had retired everybody he had faced until that home run by Mike Trout.
Yeah, he still hasn't been in his stretch yet today.
Another dangerous hitter here, Cole Calhoun, who's hitting .316 for the year. And it's 3-1. Hudson looked a little frustrated with himself there.
You know, in talking about Trout, I think that's the thing that's the scariest about what he does in the batter's box is he gets so quick to the ball. It's just a compact swing with so much power.
And that's a walk. Calhoun reaches. And here is David Freese, a right-handed hitter who hit a fly ball to right his first time. 2-1 Giants in the fourth inning. Well, the way he has played from the time he first got to the big leagues ever since, I think we were fortunate to have a chance to see Mike Trout in the early days when the Giants played interleague 3 years ago in Anaheim back in 2012. He'd been up for about a month at that time. And they were so impressed with what they saw. He really kind of beat up on the Giants. He not just beat up, he went 7 for 13 in the 3-game series. But he kind of ran circles around him when he wasn't hitting doubles and triples and home runs.
And just physical. I mean, it's not like he's hitting a baseball with a bat. It's like he's dropping a sledgehammer on a rail spike. It's just loaded with just power, and it's quick. And that combination is so rare.
2-0 to Freese. So Hudson, since the ground out by Pujols, is having a hard time throwing a strike.
Well, the longer it takes for you to get in the stretch, the longer it takes for you to get a rhythm in the stretch. And this is the first time he's got into it with the 2-out walk to Calhoun. I mean, if you're going to get in the stretch for the first time, you always want it to be with 2 outs anyway. But having gone, 40 pitches out of the windup before you get into it, it's a little unusual, even for a guy in his 17th year at the big league level like Hudson.
You got the high strike on that one, and it's 2-1.
Yeah, I watched Jim Cott, who I thought was one of the really great minds of pitching when he was a player. And he was out there, and he did this one day against us. He was pitching with the Cardinals, and he did it against us when we were the Cubs. And he like 12 up, 12 down. But after the third and fourth innings, when he'd go out there to warm up, he would warm up in the stretch. Hadn't been in the stretch yet, so he knew this. So he wanted to familiarize himself with the release point out of the stretch between innings, warming up to go into an inning. Made total sense.
3-1.
Little things like that are they're big when you start talking about keeping a feel in both the windup and the stretch as the game progresses. When you're having a good day, it was just odd seeing a guy cruising, retiring the first 12, and all of a sudden, warming up before the innings, he would get into his stretch. But I mean, that's just common sense type things that he would do all the time. Learned a lot of pitching about watching Jim Cott.
There goes Calhoun. The pitch taken for a strike. The throw by Buster is there, and he's out. And the inning is over. A great throw by Buster Posey. Mike Trout with the first hit, a home run to put the Angels on the board. The Giants lead 2-1 as we go to the last of the fourth. Case, let's go to the fabulous Amy G.
Metallica Day, lead singer James Hetfield. This has become one of the most popular days to get Giants tickets. Talk about your relationship with this organization 3 years running now, and your thoughts on how amazing this day has become, how popular it's become.
Well, we're totally blessed to be a part of it, first of all. And
your friends over here throwing popcorn.
Of course, yeah. And it gets a chance to have family come up from other parts of the world and hang out. But just, I mean, waking up in my own bed, coming here, plugging in, and playing the national anthem, I mean, it's a dream come true. It is awesome, and we love to be a part of this. And, you know, I was thinking that every year it'd get a little less or something, but it's gone the other way. And especially with the guitar auction and for the charity, I mean, the dollar price is going up. It's unbelievable. So, I mean, the love we feel here is great.
James, thank you so much. We always enjoy seeing Metallica here at the park. And, of course, they debuted the new jerseys. James has it on. Check it out.
Thanks, Amy, and thanks, James. And I really enjoyed the anthem.
Oh, they were fantastic.
Casey McGee has lined out to the center fielder. One away here for the Giants, and now Brandon Crawford, who singled his first time, facing Hector Santiago.
And what's so unusual and unique about Metallica's national anthem is that they had two lead singers playing harmony with one another, and it was fantastic. They nailed it. And we're talking two lead guitarists that can flat out go.
That ball is hit well to the big part of the yard. Still going. Goodbye! Into the center field bleachers for Brandon Crawford. 3-1 Giants. That was a big fly.
And that's the first home run that a left-hander has hit off Santiago in about a year. And that was no cheapie either. When you take on the Visa sign out in right center, I mean, you better earn it. And boy, it had the sound leaving the bat. Just a cut fastball that he just squares up. And look at the head stay down through the swing. Absolute perfection. Steve Decker, who has replaced Joe LaFay as one of our Giants league instructors. I love this one. Watch the lower body plant and the hips throw. The head stays still right through the bat head, meeting contact with the ball, and he backspins it right out of here.
2-2 to Tim Hudson. Meanwhile, Brandon Crawford continues to lead the Giants in home runs and RBIs. He got 5 home runs. Nobody else has more than 3 as Hudson is called out on strikes. 2 down.
Take a look at where this landed. This is a part of the yard where you just don't see a lot of home runs. Had him played perfectly. You know, we see more balls out to straightaway center or to left center, but to the right center field side, you just don't see that many go in that area.
Aoki drove in the first 2 Giants runs with a clutch 2-out, 2-run single in the second. And the count is 0-1. They may have Angels in the outfield, but we have B. Crawford on the
infield.
On the infield. Oh.
That's what I'm going.
Well, that was good.
Yeah.
And it's 1-2. Well, they may have Angels in the outfield, but the Giants also have an Angel in the outfield. Giants are pretty well covered. 1-2. 2-2 the count. Aoki. Giants have, as you see, Pagan. He's in the hole right now. Panic on deck. A couple of men would need to get on here for Pagan to come up with 2 down in the inning. And one is on. That's the second hit for Aoki.
Boy, not fooled at all. And this is a big, slow breaking ball. And this pitch is designed to get a hitter off his back leg. And watch how well he waits. Plant, and then just throw it right back up the middle. And it's just really good balance through the swing. It just gives you an idea of the type of bat control that he has. Even on a big, slow breaking ball that Santiago, I don't think he's throwing 2 of those today. And Aoki not fooled.
Joe Panic is flied out to left center and walked. Aoki, who stole a base, he led a double steal back in the second inning. Gregory Polanco of the Pirates is just ahead of him in third place in the league with 8 steals, and Aoki has 7. And it's a spot here where a steal could be a big play. Aoki 7 steals in 9 attempts. To get himself in a scoring position here with Panic up, who's not a home run hitter, could be very big. So don't be surprised if he takes off at some point if he has the chance. And that's ball 1 inside to Joe Panic. 3-1, Giants leading here in the 4th inning. That home run, it's 399 to straightaway center here, and that ball ends up almost halfway between the 399 marker and the 421 marker in deep right center. So that home run probably to a spot of the ballpark that might be 408, 410 just to the wall to that spot.
Yeah, he crushed it.
Pagan is on deck. Panic will have a look at Roberto Kelly, the third base coach. Here's Pagan. And it's a 4-pitch walk. And so the hot-hitting Pagan will come up. That's the second straight plate appearance in which Panic has drawn a walk. And the catcher, Butera, out to the mound to talk to Santiago.
Well, I think this is a good time for a catcher to go out and talk to a pitcher. I mean, after the home run, and it's the first one that Santiago's given up to a left-hander since last May. I mean, you know he's got a little bit of a rattle going. Now, he breezed right through Hudson, but now you have 2 outs and you get 2 lefties coming up, and you go base hit, 4-pitch walk. And there's a concentration lapse right there. So Butera going out there trying to get his focus back. That's what that mound visit was all about.
So here is Pagan. And he was really fooled on that pitch, and just like that, the inning is over. The Giants get a run, though. Brandon Crawford. Tell it bye-bye, baby, as Russ Hodges used to say. 3-1 Giants, on to the 5th.
comparison from a couple old catchers. Mike Scioscia, who's the manager of the Angels, Bruce Bochy, manager of the Giants. I mean, between the two, 37 years of experience, 4 world titles, 7 times he's gone to the playoffs, twice Scioscia the manager of the year, once Bochy 1,628 wins, and Scioscia 1,300 wins. And they all both of them rank in the top 30. Amazing stories. And those are McDonald's true stories.
They have a great deal of respect for each other. Lyle Spencer did a column about them here yesterday, and he talked to both of them each about the other. Tim Hudson is facing David Freese, who was at the plate when Calhoun got thrown out trying to steal to end the 4th inning. Freese is 0 for 1 in the game, and the count 1 ball and 2 strikes. But they both started by saying, now I can't speak for Bochy, saying I can't speak for Mike Scioscia, but I have so much respect because he does this, he does that. And Mike Scioscia first thing said, well, I can't speak for Bruce Bochy, but I just have so much respect for him. He's the best manager in the game. And there's the ball down and away. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And Scioscia pointed out that, and as did Bochy, that right at the end of Scioscia's career, Bruce Bochy became a coach. Scioscia, and many might not remember after all those years with the Dodgers, he finished his career with the Padres. That is strike 3 call with the breaking ball. Metallica Day, and I love that anthem that they play.
It's a good one. James Hetfield, Kirk Hammond, absolutely nailing it.
And the crowd enjoyed it greatly.
Well, a lot of Metallica fans here today.
Matt Joyce, the head of the Giants, going to the overshift. 3 infielders move to the right side of second. Joe Paddock is 20 feet or more into right field. Brandon Belt knocks it down, picks it up. Hudson covering. Out number 2. Joyce has hit the ball hard twice in this game, but both times on the ground into that defense.
I think Joyce is going to get real hot here real quick. I mean, he's had a rough April, but as you point out, the 2 at-bats he's had today, he scored it up twice. Kind of like going through what Casey McGee's going through. He hit the ball hard, not getting anything for it. Sooner or later, it'll start falling.
McGee's hit the ball hard twice today as well. He started the 2-run 2nd inning rally with a line drive hit, and then he lined out right to the center fielder in the 4th inning. 0-1 to Jabatella.
12 of 16 first pitch strikes in the zone for Hudson. Really has had a nice command of all of his pitches today.
0-2.
Nice quickness to that slider.
You've got Jabatella up, the 8th place hitter, Butera on deck, then the pitcher's spot. And just in case, Mike Scioscia is going to get his bullpen going. Vinny Pistano, a right-hander, has run down to the Angels bullpen. 2 down, nobody on. And a check swing there. 1-2.
Perfect 0-2 pitch. Location could not have been better. I mean, that's a location where you're really going to make a hitter think about swinging at it, going out of the strike zone to cover it.
You see Pistano. 1-2 the count. Tomorrow a 1:05 start once again. Baseball in the sunshine here at AT&T Park. And Tim Lincecum scheduled for the Giants against Jared Weaver. Brandon Crawford got in front of it. The inning is over. Last of the 5th inning, Buster Posey coming up for the Giants. Giants 3 and the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim 1. starting Thursday through next Sunday. Saturday, May the 9th, a special 6:05 p.m. twilight start. The first 40,000 attending receive a 100-pence fence catch bobblehead, courtesy of PG&E. And on Mother's Day, a week from tomorrow, the first 20,000 fans receive an Infinity World Champion scarf, courtesy of Dreyer's Ice Cream. sfgiants.com/tickets. Buster Posey and the big curveball or the high strike. It's 0-2. Buster has doubled and flied out deep to left center. Buster in his career has hit left-handers very well, but so far this year that has not been the case. He struggled against the lefties. Giants, until just recently, have not faced many lefties. Buster Posey has had 5 hits in 22 at-bats. It's not unusual for Buster to hit 350, 360 or even better against left-handed pitching for a full season. Fighting that one off. 1-2.
Take a bow. Nice.
Justin Maxwell tossed it to her. I caught it. He threw it to me from 10 feet away. Down the right field line and just fouled into the corner.
It's the worst feeling when you take a ball and you hit it sharply the other way as Buster Posey went to right field. You're going down the first baseline and you can see that it's going to be foul. You're thinking after you leave the box, now it's got a chance, and then once the verdict comes in, it's like, oh. Still staying inside it beautifully and driving the high mistake.
Left center field, and Trout is there. Buster is 1 for 3 in the game.
That's what I'm talking about. Every time you see a picture up close of Mike Trout, he's having fun. He's playing this game like, this is what he is. I mean, this is what he's all about. It's just fun and games. Constant dialogue with his corner outfielders.
And the fans respond to that. They can see that.
Everybody responds to it. I mean, it's fun. Exactly.
Justin Maxwell, and it's ball 1. Of course, it's easier to have fun when you're hitting 330 and hitting lots of home runs, and you can catch everything hit to you, and you're one of the best players in the game.
But that's why I like watching what the Warriors have done this year. I mean, they do it, and they have such joy in what they're doing. I mean, you should. It's the big leagues.
2-1 now to Maxwell. The Warriors start their second round series. It's tomorrow, right? Against
tomorrow, indeed.
Memphis against the Grizz. Foul tip. 2-2. Maxwell, he'd like a hit here soon. He's gone 0 for his last 16. There's a Warriors fan, and a Yankees fan, and a Giants fan, and a Warriors fan. Pop up. This one has some legs, and it's a hit. And he's needed one of those for a while.
Oh, he really has. Well, speaking about those Warriors, you can watch them tomorrow. And the coverage begins at 11:30 a.m. right here on Comcast Sportsnet Bay Area. Warrior Playoff Central, an hour before every game, post-game, and on Sportsnet Central all the way through the playoffs. You get Roz, Monty, Ratto, Papa Saint, J.B. Feldy, and Fareed with the coverage that you expect from the authentic home of the Warriors.
Well, the Angels bullpen is going to get busy again as Brandon Bell comes up. There is Morin, Mike Morin, a right-hander, number 64.
So you get pre and you get post on Comcast Sportsnet. The game is not here on Comcast. It'll be on one of the major networks. I do indeed see the post and pre because those shows are fantastic and they break it down.
Maxwell, who has lots of speed, back to the bag. Albert Pujols on the bag with him. The Angels, who last year won more games than any other team. There goes Maxwell. Bell hits a comebacker and a high throw. And he called him out at second base. What was he looking at there? And back to first for a double play. But I think the Giants are going to likely ask for a look at the replay on that one. Bruce Bochy said that the umpires were very confused about what is a neighborhood play and what is a call based on a bad throw to second base.
A bit of a gamble here from Santiago to even go to second base because the runner was on the move.
Well, did he have his foot still in the bag when the ball was in the glove?
No, I do not believe it. So they're going to challenge that. Watch.
Well, look there. His foot was never on the bag.
Never. So that's going to come back. Although we said that last night on a play we thought was an obvious out with involving the Giants at second base. The Angels thought it was an obvious out, and after a long deliberation, they reviewed it and ruled that the Giants were safe, and it surprised all of us. So, I mean, having seen what we saw last night, I might be surprised, but I'd have to believe that this one is going to come back and the Giants are going to prolong the inning with a runner in scoring position because I think it was safe.
Now, the replay review is presented by Xfinity. Now, presumably, because the neighborhood play is not reviewable, that.
But that angle right there, you think, well, gee, he may have gotten it, but his foot was never in contact with the bag.
But is that the neighborhood play? That's what I'm saying. There's a loophole here somehow. Do they have to figure, well, if his foot had been in the bag, which our umpire thought it was, would it have come off on that throw?
But can you review a pivot play? I mean, that's the other thing.
You can review it if it's about the throw pulling him off the bag, not the neighborhood play, but he had to literally, which is why the play should have been reviewed last night.
It is confusing. It's hard to describe from our end. I mean, you can imagine how the umpires feel about it. They should just make it easy.
This did not take very long. So he's safe at second base.
And that's the right call.
But Adrian Johnson needs to have a good look at that and ask himself, why could I have missed that one so badly when he never at any time was on the bag? Usually the guy's on the bag at some point, right? On the neighborhood play. Confirmed means that the call was ruled to have been absolutely correct. Stands means that they could not find conclusive evidence to overturn a call. And 66 overturn means that the call was proven to be wrong by the replay. 2 times they've used the replay to check a rule. So Bell was out at first on the play. So Bell was out, what, 1 to 6 to 3.
But the only way that you can explain Adrian Johnson, the second base umpire, rule it that way is that he thought it was the neighborhood play.
And McGee, base hit to center. Maxwell's got great speed. Trout with not the best arm in the world, and very late. He scores easily, standing up. And you saw Crawford down there coaching him and told him, hey, you don't have to slide. So Casey McGee hits his 3rd consecutive line drive of the day and gets the RBI. 4-1 Giants.
So the review winds up costing the Angels, and a nice 2-out RBI from McGee. Again, he's not smiling at first base. I mean, he's been thinking a couple of these should have been coming his way a while back. And here he goes right back up the middle, and as you point out, Mike Trout, I mean, he's got all the tools, but he doesn't have an above-average arm. It's an average arm, and they're going to take advantage of it. Good job there by Roberto Kelly, the third base coach.
And Brandon Crawford was also right where he was supposed to be as an extra coach get over by home plate and tell the guy whether he needs to slide or not. Brandon Crawford, the Giants' home run leader, and he has one today. He also has a single. Blocked by Butera, keeping McGee at first. 1 ball, 1 strike. Crawford, 2 more hits against a left-hander. He now has 7 hits and 19 at-bats against left-handed pitching for the year, a .368 average against lefties. That's not many at-bats, but it is consistent with what he did for the full season last year. He hit left-handers extremely well a year ago, all season long.
And I think if you're going to have good success against left-handed pitching as a left-handed hitter, you have to be a good middle-away hitter, which is what Crawford has always shown. I mean, the day that he first signed a professional contract, he's had a good opposite field approach to left field. He's a good middle-away guy. Take a look at that home run. I mean, this is a big boy home run. They set up the outside corner. This thing kind of hangs out there at the middle, and he jumps on the location mistake. Takes on the big part of the yard.
He is number 1 in the National League for home runs by a shortstop. And that is the inning. The Giants had a run to make it 4-1. Metallica Day here at AT Park. Mike Trout, who homered in the 4th inning. I help the guy. Another hit today. Giants lead.
Getting set to take on Drew Butera, the Angels catcher. Butera 0 for 1 today. And very quickly, the fastball trying to run that thing in. The movement behind Hudson's pitches today has been really late. And I think that's what every pitcher wants. I mean, they want movement, but they want late movement. And that has been his key today. Not seen that many balls squared up against him. Except for that one right there. Line drive right to Crawford. So for the 5th consecutive inning, Tim Hudson getting that leadoff out. Butera hitting into a bit of bad luck there. So Efren Navarro, the only left-hander off the bench for the Angels coming up here now, and that's going to be the end of the day for Hector Santiago. And a first pitch strike with a leadoff sinker from Tim Hudson. Navarro hitting .250 on the year. And very quickly in an 0-2 hole.
Ed Montague, longtime Major League umpire, National League umpire, then Major League umpire, now an umpire supervisor and a Bay Area resident, was just on the phone with me, Mike, about the neighborhood play, and he said that it's the umpires in the ballpark. It's their decision if it's a call about a neighborhood play or whether the throw took the middle infielder off the bag. It's their call as to whether that can be reviewed or not. And I asked him, I said, well, I'm not sure I quite understand that. Because they've already if they've called the guy out at second, they've already ruled that he wasn't pulled off the bag.
Backdoor slider and nails it down. Third strikeout for Tim Hudson, and you talk about a rough at bat. 3 strikes taken. You can see the little eye on the spin of the slider, and wraps it right around the outside corner, and Buster Posey nails down the reception. And that is abusive control right there. Wow.
A friend Navarro, who just was brought back for the minor leagues for this series. So 2 down. Ibar, the leadoff man, he is 0 for 2.
So that's why last night when Bochy went out there to ask for a replay at second base, they denied his right to do so because they ruled that it was indeed a neighborhood play, which is not reviewable.
And apparently that was the reason. Ibar, right center field. Maxwell calls off Pagan. And that is an 8-pitch inning for Tim Hudson, who is on a roll. There's only been 1 inning in the afternoon where they have put anybody on base. 4-1 Giants.
Is brought to you by Heffernan Insurance Brokers. Insurance and financial services for you and your business. Visit hefins.com. And by Xfinity, home of the most live sports.
I'm John Miller with Mike Krukow, Dwayne Kuiper over on the radio side for now. 4-1, the Giants lead the Angels as we go to the last of the 6th inning. And a new pitcher for the Angels. When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your oil change, tune-up, and repair experts. Mike Morin, the right-hander, on in relief of Hector Santiago, as Tim Hudson leads off for the Giants. By the way, we were talking about Ed Montague calling us, trying to give us some good information about the the neighborhood play and when you can review it and that sort of thing. And the count to Hudson is 1-1. And I asked him, I said, well, if the umpire at second has called the guy out at second, then he's already ruled that the guy was not pulled off the bag. And if it's the crew here that determines whether they can even send it back for a review or not, I was just unsure then how you would ever get one sent back. And he said, well, maybe. Then Bochy came out and said he never touched the bag at all, which is in fact the case. And maybe that's what he got from Sean Dunston and Chad Chomp down in the clubhouse in the video room. And he said, I want to review. He never, ever at any time touched second base, which is exactly the way it was. And that review did not take very long either. One away, Hudson with the fly ball to Trout. Anyway, we thank Eddie Montague, a great National League umpire for many, many years, Major League umpire, now an umpire supervisor. Aoki, and he's having quite a day. And it's another in a long list of outstanding days and nights for Aoki at the plate.
Yeah, you're right. He's having quite a season. Well, the purpose of the neighborhood play is to protect the middle infield. And that's the one thing that when they started to talk about the parameters of instant replay and what can be reviewed and what can't be reviewed, that was one of the first things that came up. Because if you insist that you have your players stay in an area where there is going to be contact made, you subject your middle infielders to injury, which is what they were very careful in trying to define. But you clearly have to be in contact with the bag in order to qualify for a neighborhood play, and Javatello was not. And that's what the appeal was from Bochy's perspective. And it differed from his questioning the play last night, because in the eye of the umpire last night, middle infielder was in touch with the bag. I forget if it was Ibar or Javatello, but
so Aoki is down, 2 down, and let's go to Amy G.
All right, gentlemen, as you well know, Joe Panik has come through a couple times this season so far in a pinch hit situation. I talked to him about his approach to pinch hitting. He said when you're available off the bench, you have to be ready for the call at any time. So every inning he's stretching, he's throwing, or he's hitting, waiting to come out and help his team. He also said that last night the pressure was on the pitcher, bases loaded, 2 out, so he's well aware of the situation. Or you could go with Andrew Susak's idea. Joe Panik has ice in his veins, guys.
And I think that's very, very true. Well, that's all for Joe Panik. He's gone quickly this time. Dwayne Kuiper will make his way back over from the Siberia of radio.
a dealer. And speaking of dealing, well, it's been the story of today's ball game. Tim Hudson has been fantastic. Angels 1 run, 1 hit, no errors. Giants 4 runs, 9 hits, no errors. It's been all about pitching. A home run from Brandon Crawford, and Aoki with a 2-out single that knocked in a pair, and that makes it a 4-1 ball game. Here we are, top of the 7th. Once again, Dwayne Kuiper.
Well, here's the guy that has really ruined things today for Hudson.
And the only hit that the Angels have has come off the bat of Mike Trout.
And it left like a laser. So this is round 3. Hudson got him out on a pop-up in the first inning. And the 1-1. Down the right field line. This is going to drift into the seats. This was the home run we're talking about.
This got a little bit away from the intended target. It kind of comes back over the middle of the plate. Boom. And it happens that quick. I mean, that's just how you describe Mike Trout's swing. Boom.
He was running down the line like it was an infield hit. I guess when you can run like that, though, you want to run hard all the time.
I'd like to have been able to do that once.
Down low, 2-2.
There you see the hot zone. The only one part of the zone is, yeah, I don't know. Let's just say the guy can hit. Ted Williams would have been proud of that coverage.
Get on the ground to Crawford. Crawford to Belt. You better hurry.
I mean, that ball was hit pretty hard. There's a guy from the right side who's got some backswing he's got to unwind from, and he almost beat that out. Now, you want a testimony to athleticism of Mike Trout, watch this. Watch him with a big backswing. Now he's got to unwind and get going. And you're talking about a guy who's got a great arm, and he just does Crawford get him by about a foot. What an athlete. Oh, my word.
Here's Albert Pujols. Pujols takes a strike. He's 0 for 2.
Man, he didn't like that first pitch strike. Thought that was low and outside. High back shoulder. Talk about setup from this guy. And you watch as he gets set up, the bend that he'll have in his back leg. He loads up the inside part of his foot, really the strong side of his body, and a high back shoulder. And that's a perfect setup. He doesn't take much stride. And he keeps his shoulders flat. He gets a lot of carry with everything he hits, even balls down around the knees. He can backspin. And I think that's one of the things about his swing that has always stood out, is that he's a guy that just keeps that back flat in that strike zone a long time. And because of that, he gets backspin and he gets carry. Just a classic stance. A great hitter.
And that's foul into the Giants dugout. Well, where does he rank all time?
8th in slugging percentage, 9th OPS, home run 18th, doubles 24th, RBI 32nd, on base 49th, run 61st, average 70th. I mean, that's an amazing career. It's a Hall of Fame career.
Indeed it is. Foul again.
And he's not done. I mean, he's going to keep climbing up the ladder in all those categories.
Well, he stays in great shape. You know, at this age, you're always going to get hit by some type of an injury. But he's in the right league.
DH league. Should prolong his career.
He hits it high and deep and gone. It's now 4-2, and that's a big, big fly.
Fourth home run lifetime that Pujols has against Hudson. We talked about the success that he had against Hudson coming into today's ball game. Pujols' lifetime against Hudson was .438, 14 for 32, so a 1 for 3, and he adds a home run in the home run category.
Well, that one leaked right back into the Whitney zone.
And it was just up.
So here's Calhoun. Calhoun is 0 for 1. And there's a healthy rip, and it's 0 and 1.
When you're a sinker baller, you rely on movement. Down around the knees, you'll get movement that sinks from a right-handed pitcher like Hudson to a left-handed hitter like Calhoun. It's going to sink down and away. When you throw it belt high, you lose that sink. You'll still get movement, but it's fade. It's flat. And the one that Pujols hit was flat.
Trying to check his swing. It's 0-2. On deck is David Freese. And the 0-2. Tap slowly to Belt. Belt will wait patiently and then go to the bag. Well, comes back and gets a ground ball. That's what he'd like to do, and he did.
Hudson through 6 2/3, and he's been in a stretch to one hitter today. And the hitter was Cole Calhoun, who got caught stealing. Well, actually, it was David Freese he was facing with Calhoun, who had gotten on base by way of a walk. So it was just one hitter. The rest of the time out of the windup.
A strike to Freese.
That makes it a bit of an unusual start.
Very much so. Tapped foul.
Right guy got it.
Yep. Oh, 2. Hudson got it. Pujols, second hit off of Hudson, and it's a big fly, his 4th of the year. And it went a pretty long way. It's 4-2 Giants.
MLB.TV Premium, the #1 live streaming sports service, is celebrating 13 years, and you can watch every out-of-market game live or on demand in True HD on over 400 mobile and connected devices. Go to MLB.TV for details. Check it out. 4-2 Giants. We're in the bottom of the 7th inning. And we have a new pitcher for the Angels when it's time for a change. Think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your oil change, tune-up, and repair experts. Vinny Pistano, the new pitcher for the Angels. 10th time that he's coming in. 1-0 with a 4.26 ERA.
Facing Pagan, and Pagan takes a ball. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. Pistano.
I got a lot of sinkers coming out of the bullpen for the Angels, and Pistano is certainly one of them. You see the low 3/4 release, and he's basically a sinker slider guy. And his velocity will be right around 90, but I mean, he puts the ball on the ground.
There's a strike, 2-2. Buster Posey on deck, and then Justin Maxwell.
Cesar Ramos, the lefty, getting ready in the Angels bullpen.
And he's getting ready for Belt.
Thinking about him.
Ooh, tied up Pagan as he hits the inside corner. 1 out. Buster Posey, Buster 1 for 3. Off the end of the bat, foul, and it's 0-1. Posey trying to get on for Maxwell. He hits it high. He hits it deep. It is out of here. Home run number 4 for Buster Posey. And it's 5-2. I don't think he likes Crawford being ahead of him.
Well, game on. How do you hit a sinker baller? You look up. They set the target low and away. It goes right at the belt, middle in. That is a location mistake, and Posey makes him pay.
So Maxwell takes low and away.
Take a look at the flight of the ball from our splash cam. Wow. I think that guy's all right. That came flying over the fence. I think it was a top spinner that went over the wall.
Boy, ain't gonna miss. 1 ball and 1 strike. Maxwell lines this one to left, and it's right at the left fielder Joyce. 2 outs. And here's Belt. Belt is 0 for 3. He's now hitting at .218. And that pitch is low and in. No swing. 1 ball and no strikes. Taps it foul. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. Giants now with 10 hits. Both teams had 7 hits in the game last night. One and 2. tight, so hey, why not? If you're going to get Bell to chase it one time, why not throw it back in there again?
I think he's thinking the same thing.
Like that. Buster Posey, home run number 4. It's bye-bye, baby. And as we head to the 8th, it's 5-2 Giants. Joyce leading things off here in the 8th. Joyce is 0 for 2. And the pitch. Struck well. Right center field. Pagan on the move. Still on the move. Pagan makes the catch. In Anaheim, that's a big fly. Here, that's an out. And all you can tell is by the shoulders of Matt Joyce.
Well, Matt Joyce is going through what Casey McKee's going through. He's hitting the ball hard, and he's getting nothing for it. This is the 3rd time that he's squared up Hudson today, and he's got an 0 for going. And you're right. I mean, not many ballparks will hold that one, but here, it's a big league hang with him. Gobbles it up, despite the face in the sun.
Giovanella takes a strike. Giovanella got McGee's attention. Thanks, I'm not in Atlanta.
Or Philadelphia, or Cincinnati, or Arizona, or Coors Field.
Quick 0-2 to Giovanella. Tapped. Crawford gets rid of it quickly. Let's check out our Togo's big play. The Togo's way. Let's go back to Game 5 of the 0-2 World Series. And Darren Baker, who gets in the way, and JT Snow says, look here, young man, you're coming with me. And now it's possible that Darren could pick up JT.
Oh, you're right. Darren Baker is all grown up.
When it first happened, I never saw it. We were doing radio, which is low to Gutierrez, and I was just watching something else, I guess. I saw the replay. It was like, what? Thank goodness I had two partners that were watching. Utera with a swing and a miss. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Saw the pitch count from Hudson. Only one time has he gone over 15 pitches in an inning. That was 19 he had back in the 4th. Next pitch will be number 90.
McGee got him. 7-pitch inning for Hudson. He may go back out. Who knows? 5-2 Giants. Live, you get highlights, you get reactions to this game, you get analysis. It's all coming up right after the game. It is 5-2 Giants. When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your oil change tune-up and repair experts.
Cesar Ramos, the new pitcher for the Angels, 10th time that he's come in. And he's kind of like hitting off a starter. He'll give you 4 looks, a 90-ish fastball with 2 types of movement, curveball, slider, changeup, and a big curveball.
On the ground, sharply hit. It knocks down Ibar. He throws from his knees. And Casey McGee with a 3-hit afternoon. How about that?
And it could have been a 4-hit. He hit the other at bat right on the nose, and definitely, I think Casey McGee is starting to find that comfort zone. This has been his best game as a Giant. Fastball middle in, and he just spins on it to the backhand of Ibar. Now, this ball was roasted. It took the feet right out of Ibar, and they tried to throw it to first base off a knee. And an infield single and a 3-hit day for Casey McGee. Nicely done.
When you run down the line, it looks like it's 100 miles to first base. So here's Crawford, who takes a strike.
And McGee has had a nice day with the bat and with the glove.
On the ground, foul. Heads up. Oh, bad hop.
Cheryl Boykins.
Bad hop, Cheryl. Not your fault.
Hey, you're the chief of police. You don't have to do that. You don't have to make a play. We're not going to get on you.
You can even throw your glove at it if you want. Crawford's had a nice game. In the dirt. Nice block by Gutierrez. See who is here today? Jeff Idelson.
From Cooperstown.
The boss. The man in charge of everything.
He's the curator of the museum.
He is. I ask Jeff the same thing every time I see him. I've asked him for as long as I've known him. And he's really a gentleman. He's a great guy. Here's the 1-2. Swing and a miss by Crawford. So 1 out. And I'll ask Jeff, I said, Jeff, you want my home run ball? And he'll go, no.
Why wouldn't he? Come on.
He doesn't even say it politely. He just goes, no.
No. Hey, you want it.
Jeff Idelson, I mean, he'll take stuff off the walls at Don and Charlie's in at Fridays, but he won't take my ball.
Would you give it up?
I absolutely would.
Well, give it to me. I'll take it.
Here's Hudson. Hudson's going to show bunt. And he lays down a good bunt. And he's retired. I'll go 1-4 on the sacrifice bunt. So Aoki's going to hit with 2 outs. Aoki knocked in the first 2 runs in this game. Hudson thinking about a pinch hitter and then the top of the order in the 9th inning. On the ground to Ibar, who knows he has to hurry, and they get him, and that'll end the inning. So we go to the 9th. Hudson will come back out, and the Giants lead 5-2.
Runs, 25 home runs, and 8 triples in Major League history. Babe Ruth, Chuck Klein, Joe DiMaggio, Lou Gehrig, Willie Mays, and Mike Trout. Those are our cold hard facts brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Cold.
Wow. Here's Colin Cowgill, and he swings and misses, and it's 0-1. Cowgill hitting at 184 is pinch hitting. And he takes a strike. So right there, that pitch was number 92 for Hudson.
It's cruising. When you get to the ninth inning and you have a tendency to pick your pace up a little bit, you got to just kind of try and maintain the same rhythm you've had all game, which for Hudson has been a very good rhythm. And he's been in his stretch almost the entire game, just one hitter.
Can you get an adrenaline hit as a starting pitcher in the ninth?
Oh yeah. And it's the reaction of the fans that pump you up, that give you more arm speed.
Cowgill almost stuck that elbow out. It's 2-2. Romo is in the bullpen.
Last complete game last May.
Well, now Hudson doesn't want to lose him, so this should be one right down the middle of the plate.
Should be.
If you can do it.
So we take advantage of a 3-run lead. Challenge the guy, make him swing the bat.
That's it. So Hudson's going to depart. Romo's going to come in, and Hudson's going to get a massive ovation when he departs. All that work in the offseason, this is worth it, isn't it?
It really is. It's what you play for.
Romo in. We'll be back. Walk, and now the pitcher is Sergio Romo.
Let's take a look at the numbers for Romo. 11th time he's come in, 0-1 with a 2.35 ERA, 12 strikeouts in 7 2/3, 8 base runners allowed. And really, in his mind, there's nobody on base. I mean, he's just going to take advantage of the 3-run inning and concentrate on Ibar.
Ibar pulls it foul. Ibar off of Romo last night. Bounced one to Duffy, who had to go to his right, could not make the play. Duffy was charged with an error. Nice looking line for Tim Hudson. Nice block by Buster Posey. 1 ball, 1 strike. So Romo jumps out in front, 1-2.
You showed the slider there in the 1-1 count. That flat slider is the first time you see it. If you're hitting from off of Romo from the left side, that's one you could hit into your shin bone real easy. And Ibar almost did. Jeremy Affeldt beginning to get loose.
Two and two. Tried to paint him, didn't miss by much.
Set up way outside, trying to get him to expand and chase. Ibar not buying it.
Could end up in the water, or it might just hit the back row.
Well, Posey wanted a fastball away. Romo shook off to get the fastball in, and he didn't quite get that thing in enough. And what Ibar was telling him right there is, I got a little power. You better respect it.
2-2. McGee's got it. He'll go to panic for one, and that's it. But the idea, get one for sure, and they did. And that was a nice play by McGee.
He's had a good day all around, again with the glove and with the bat, and here with the glove. This is not an easy play. Just a little poke. And the momentum of the play took him almost to the bag. Squares up on his back leg, realizes he's got a shot to get Cowgill at second. And that's what they'll have to be happy with, and indeed they're happy.
Well, this is round 2 of the Trout-Romo matchup. Romo struck him out in the game last night. Trout probably a better idea of what he's going to see from Romo.
Well, the first time you hit off Romo as a right-handed hitter, it's not fair because you've never seen the slider that he has, and Romo doesn't tip it off with the normal slider spin, so it's the learning curve it's ugly at first hitting off Romo, but the more you see him, the more of a plan you're going to have against him. One thing about Romo is you're going to look away if you're a right-handed hitter. You're going to look on that outside corner and you're going to think slider.
We'll see at any point if Buster Posey sets up in with a fastball. Not yet. Tap foul. It's 1-2.
And there was that lean we're talking about.
I don't think there's any doubt he's looking for it. He may not be able to now, but he was in. One ball, 2 strikes. Posey set up away. 2-2.
There was the sneak attack fastball. And if you're going to miss with it, you're going to miss away. It's not one you want to leave out over the plate, not to a guy with the power of Trout.
Trout stepping out. Two and two. Hit on the ground and a base hit. So Trout hung in there on that slider. And here's Pujols.
And Posey set that target up. He set that target up off the plate away. And Posey's out there right now. And I think he's letting Romo know. I mean, you cannot miss to these guys out of the plate.
Pujols hit a home run off of Hudson in the 7th.
Really was one of the few location mistakes of the day that Hudson made. And Pujols, who's always had great numbers against Hudson, makes a pay.
Pujols 3 for 7 lifetime with a double off of Romo.
He is on top of the plate.
And a strike. And it's 0-1. I got a little more break to it than usual. It'll be tough to double up. If you panic, you got to be heads up with Trout. Going away, 1 ball and 1 strike. Trout not being held on by anybody.
Well, you're right. I mean, if that ground ball goes to Casey McGee and it's not an absolute rocket to him, it's going to give Trout ample time to take aim at panic. Those are definitely things you think about as a second baseman.
I think about it now. 1 ball and 1 strike. Two and two.
Posey kind of jimmy jacking behind the home plate. Do I go middle in? Do I go out with his location? So as not to tip where he's going to put that glove to Ibar, who's at second base. You set that location too early and set your target too early, that'll get relayed to Pujols. And Pujols, like any experienced hitter, he wants to know location.
Two and two.
So Posey, I mean, he's waiting for Romo to start his motion before he actually gets his target set up.
Tying run at the plate. 2 and 2. Albert Pujols. Got him. He threw him a fastball. The guts of a burglar.
Well, he threw him a Miguel Cabrera fastball and he froze the big fella. A little two-seamer. It comes back in that outside corner. Posey never moves the glove and they get the call.
So Affeld's coming in. He'll be facing Cole Calhoun. It remains 5-2 Giants.
Honda, and Tim Hudson would be that gentleman today. 8+ innings, 2 hits allowed, couple of walks, couple of strikeouts, 3 strikeouts rather, and just pitched beautifully. Only 1 hitter did he face today out of the stretch. He is our player of the game. Brought to you by Honda.
So Affeldt to face Calhoun. Calhoun today is 0 for 2. Big breaking ball, 1 ball and no strikes.
Take a look at the numbers for Jeremy Affeldt. 11 times when he's come in. 0-1 with a 1.42 ERA. Sinking fastball, big curveball on the 4th ball.
Affeldt faced Calhoun last night. Remember, he got 0-2 and then he hit him in the elbow. That was a strike. And a beauty. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Calhoun has seen 5 pitches off of Affeldt in the series, and he hasn't seen the big breaking ball yet.
Little flare out to left, and that's going to fall. Aoki's throw is going to be late, so Ibar scores. Calhoun with a base hit and RBI. Affeldt's going to depart. And Bruce Bochy is going to go to the bullpen. And it's going to be Santiago Casilla. So the plot thickens. It's now a 5-3 ball game with David Freese coming up. We'll be back.
Is our pregame. See it here on Comcast Sportsnet Bay Area. First pitch at 1:05. Plus, you get complete pre- and post-game coverage with Giants insider Alex Pavlovich right here at CSN Bay Area. The home of your world champion Giants is Comcast Sportsnet.
So the matchup is going to be Casilla against Freese. When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your oil change, tune-up, and repair experts.
Casilla, the winning pitcher in last night's ball game. He's 3-0 with a 2.38 ERA. Kind of a weird existence when in the same outing you can get a blown save and a win. Such is the life of a reliever.
So here's Freese. Freese is 0 for 3.
Giants doubles defense in the outfield. They're backed up about as deep as they can play.
Up the middle and a base hit. 1 run is going to score, and the tying run ends up at third. It's 5-4. Freese not wasting around, waiting around.
Freese looking for something in the challenge zone. That's right across the plate at the belt. They set the target in, and Casilla did not come close to it. When you make a pitch like that, I guess you have to feel lucky that ball didn't go in a gap or over a wall. And the Angels get to within one.
Here's a guy that's hit the ball hard a lot today. He's 0 for 3, and that's Matt Joyce.
Mortis directed traffic in the infield, setting the defensive alignment.
Featherston is now running at first. On the ground, and it hits the runner, and this one is over.
Unbelievable.
Featherston comes in, and he records the last out. The pinch runner just got hit.
Now that's a first, partner.
Yeah, I guess if you're in this game long enough, you never know what the heck you're going to see. Look, the ball was hit at Panic, and it may not have been an easy play for Panic, but nevertheless, it makes it easier this way.
Well, we'll never know. Taylor Featherston walks off the field with a bruise and some egg on his face. Now Matt Joyce gets a base hit.
Yeah, Matt Joyce gets a hit to end the game.
Go figure.
Figure that one out, will you? But that guy gets his first win, Tim Hudson. How about that? Bruce Bochy's going, yeah, that's kind of how I drew it up. Well, it's not exactly how I drew it up, to be honest with you. Final score, Giants 5, Angels 4. Thanks for joining us. Stay tuned. Eastern's Giants postgame live with interviews in the wrap. That's going to start right now.